Hey, hello, I'm LR, and welcome to React and Reactions. This is the segment of the show in which we talk about the top 3 topics that's trending or is news out there today with pop culture, comic books, and movies. So let's get started. First subject, the Inhuman trailer. Finally, the short teaser trailer of the Inhumans hit the web. Got a good picture of what the cast looks like in their outfits, and I'm okay with it. I think they did a pretty good job casting the people to play the Inhumans. Black Bolt looks really good. You're so used to seeing Black Bolt in his costume, so you're thinking, I always thought maybe he's bald, but apparently he's not. He has hair underneath that cowl or that mask that he wears. But Medusa looks great. Karnak looks great. Gorgon looks good. Maximus and Crystal, they all look pretty similar to what you see in the cartoons and in the comic books. Didn't say much about the trailer. It just kind of showed the pictures, said Inhumans coming this fall. So no plot lines or anything like that. We know that Attilan is going to be where they're going to be at. I don't know if it's going to be on the moon or if it's going to be on part of the earth or where they're going to put Attilan at. But we do know that it will all be in that basic city where most of the action will be happening, as far as I can tell. We did not see Lockjaw. Now, on the web you can see a cutout kind of prototype foam of a blue dog in one of the behind the scenes pictures that someone took. So we know that Lockjaw will be full scale. He'll be as big as he's supposed to be, just like comic books. But obviously he's going to be a CG character and stuff. But that's the one person we did not see in the photo. So Lockjaw is one of my favorite characters of the Inhumans. So I can't wait to see what he looks like interacting with the other characters of the Inhumans. Of course, the first 2 episodes, I believe, are going to be, or the first episode is going to be shot in IMAX and revealed in theaters, which is going to be fantastic. I think it's the first time it ever happened on a TV show. I'm not certain about that, but that is going to be pretty cool to watch that in IMAX. But I definitely was happy to see everybody in their costume and what they look like in real life as the cast assembled. So hopefully later in the summer we'll get a full trailer, kind of giving us a little bit of the effects of their powers and a little bit of the storyline that Marvel might be looking to tell in this. I think it's an 8-episode miniseries. So I'm definitely excited. I don't know if they're going to mention, I believe it's part of the Marvel canon universe, as far as I don't know if they're going to mention too much about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be left out, but they might relate some facts of the Marvel movies. They might mention a Captain America or Iron Man, who knows. So that'll be very interesting to see if they do that, if they tie that in, or they leave it as its own little world, the Inhumans, and don't really mention too much of the other Marvel characters around. So that's topic number 1. Send me your reactions. Email me, Twitter. Tell me what you think, and are you excited to see this miniseries? It was going to be a movie at one time, and now it's going to be a TV show, which I'm happier it's going to be a TV show, because you'll have time to tell the story correctly in more depth instead of 2.5 hours cramming everything in, which they could do. They do it in other movies, but I think this deserves that kind of detail and plot storyline to take its time over 8 hours, so to speak. If there's 8 episodes, I'm sure assuming it's an hour per episode. So that's topic number 1. Topic number 2, Flash, the Flash TV show. If you saw last week's episode, Savitar was finally revealed, and a lot of people were shocked by it. I watched a lot of show reactions to the Flash, and people seemed very shocked that it was Barry. I was for a while not sure who Savitar was, but when it was an episode about 5 weeks back when they put Dr. Alchemy, Adrian, I believe his name is, under under some kind of a trance to speak to Savitar, and Savitar said, "I am the future Flash." Right then, everything came into focus for me as far as who Savitar was. I knew right then it was Barry, because at one thing you look at it, when he said that, I'm like, okay. And reading the comic books, I've read the New 52 and knew that Barry in the future has a blue suit just like Savitar. Not exactly like it, but it was blue lightning, similar to like the design. And Savitar, of course, wears armor with blue lights in it. They enhanced it the second half of the season to make it look a little bit better. So right then I said, he's Savitar. He's Savitar. They're not going to make Savitar like he was in the comic books. They're actually going to make Savitar the future Flash, and obviously that was revealed this week. Another thing that gave it away 2 weeks ago is when Flash went into the future, and you saw a couple of things that that little Easter eggs, like Wally just not talking, being comatose, shocked by when he found out who Savitar was. Well, you got to think, who else besides Joe West would Wally be so traumatized by finding out who Savitar was? It was Barry. Of course, a lot of people thought it may have been Ronnie because of the way Killer Frost reacted to him, saying, "I'll do whatever you ask." That's plausible, but then again, you would say, okay, well, if you believed in that theory, how did Ronnie get Speed Force powers? I don't know. So that didn't make too much sense, but I understand why some people thought that. But finally revealed it. It was a nice reveal. A lot of people were taken off guard by it, but now the question is, okay, so how did he become Savitar? Where does the Philosopher's Stone come into all this? And how did he trap himself in the Speed Force? It's going to be very interesting how they take the storyline from here. I have no idea how they're going to do this, but somehow Barry messed with the future, creating another version of him to come back and become evil to save, I don't know, to prevent whatever new timeline that was going to be created. But I really am enjoying the Flash this season. Yes, this is the third season that we had a speedster for the fight, but I'm okay with that. But next season, I understand it will not be a speedster. There'll be speedster on the show, but he won't be the main antagonist or villain for next year's Flash. But I'm very happy with this season. I think they're doing a great job. Ratings were up last week as well, and we're waiting for the conclusion to see how they end this year's finale. So again, if you got a comment on the Flash, if you knew it was Savitar and Savitar was Barry, let me know how you thought it was Barry, and what tipped you off, like I told you what tipped me off. Also, tell me what you'd like to see about where the series should go, and what direction they should go for next season as far as the villain. Again, you can email me and send that to Twitter as well. All right, for our third and final topic that we're going to go over, and this is the big news of the week. If you haven't seen it yet, Guardians of the Galaxy opens up this week. Actually opened up yesterday, actually Friday. I saw it on Thursday night, and I had a great time. I had a great time with it. I love the movie. I mean, look, people say, oh, it wasn't good as number one. Number one was, yes, it was a little bit better, because number one caught you off guard. You didn't know what to expect with number one. It was like, Marvel's doing Guardians of the Galaxy. This is going to flop. Nobody knows who this is. But the story writing was fantastic. They did a great job directing this show and putting the characters together. And they did a fabulous job again with number 2, Volume 2. Love the whole idea of family. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet, but I'll just tell you a couple of things. The whole idea of family in this movie was fantastic. Really well done. Loved the characters involved. Loved how they brought Ego in, and I didn't have a problem with them using Ego. There was a little issue about who Ego is, and if you read comic books, you kind of know that he is not what they said he was. He was actually created by those beings, not one of those beings. But that's the comic book, and they don't have to follow that. I'm just a comic book junkie, so I'm always a stickler to, did they follow the storyline? Did they follow the storyline? I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. It's not just me watching these movies, so I'm okay with liberties they take with characters and things of that nature, so that's fine. But I thought the post-credit scenes were done well. Very interesting, very cliffhanging post-credit scenes, and they did a good job of paying homage to the original Guardians of the Galaxy of the comic book, and who knows what the future might bring, the way the post-credit scenes ended. But it was really, really well done. I really enjoyed it. The soundtrack, the soundtrack was fine. I was looking for a little better soundtrack. I thought they were moving more into the 80s a little bit more so than they did the first one, but it was fine, but I thought they could have had a little better soundtrack to it. But overall, got to give this an A. Well done, and I'm sure it's going to break over 150 million opening this week, if not higher. is tracking at 160, 170, I believe. So I think it's you'll enjoy it if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you already know about this. And what can I say? Marvel once again knocks it out of the park. They just do a great job with putting their movies together, character, storyline, and tying them into other movies. And they just, I'm hoping that DC and Sony with now working with Marvel can get their act together as well, and Fox, and start doing some quality movies as well. And DC has done some quality movies, just that they just don't tie them together as well. They don't flow as good as Marvel does on the ones they've done. So I'm pulling for DC to get their stuff together, and we'll see with Wonder Woman in about a month from now. Wonder Woman will hit, and I'm really excited to see that. So tell me what you thought about Guardians of the Galaxy. Tell me what you enjoyed about the movie, and what you expect to see in Volume 3, because they are doing a Volume 3. And of course, they were if you didn't know that, you know it now, because they're going to make $1 billion on this movie, no doubt. $1 billion. But it's one movie I'm going to see again this upcoming Tuesday. Once again, really enjoyed it, and I think you will too if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you already know that it was a wonderful movie, and hopefully you agree. But if you don't agree, that's okay. Tell me what you didn't agree about. Tell me what problems you had with the movie, or what you like with the movie, and what direction you hope the movie goes. So again, hit me up, email me at ready2react@gmail and Twitter, and you can also contact me on Facebook as well. I'm LR. Thank you for watching, and now let's go to shows to watch. This week on shows to watch, the first episode of American Gods played this last week, and I think it's going to be a good show. I like the first episode so far and the plot line of the story. If you're watching American God, tell me what you think of it so far, and don't forget to catch it this Sunday when the second episode comes on. The second half of Gotham also looks very promising. It seems like they're getting closer to the villains being who they really are in the comics, and Bruce seems to be making himself more and more into the psyche and persona of the Batman. The Flash and Arrow show are getting better and better as they head towards their season finale, so you don't want to miss a single episode of those two shows as they close out this season. And if you're on YouTube, keep up with all movie news by watching Collider Movie Talk with John Campea, Perry Nemiroff, Christian Holoff, and the whole crew. Ashley Mova herself is a reason to watch the show alone. Also catch John Schnepp and Robert Meyer Burnett on Heroes on Collider Video as well. A great show, talking everything about superheroes and comic books. You also want to catch Emergency Awesome with Charlie Snyder. He does a great job putting informational videos together on movie, pop culture, and comics as well. Thank you, I'm LR, and I'll see you next time.